Congratulations, you have been chosen to participate in a field trip to Barcelona, Spain, to learn more about the Spanish Inquisition. You will be immersed in the Spanish culture and will be finding out more about the 14th and 15th centuries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The Spanish Inquisition was a time of religious conflict in Spain. Back in the late 1400s, times were different. People were discriminated for what religion they were. Innocent people were tortured and forced to do things against their will. The Roman Catholics thought that their ways were superior to the ways of the Jewish and the Muslims, therefore wanted them to convert to Roman Catholic or suffer dire consequences.
Are you excited to go to Spain?
Yeah, I'm really excited actually.
Why are you excited?
Because we get to go learn about things that we wouldn't learn back here in America.
Well, I'm excited because I can go meet foreign chicks.
We're not going for the chicks.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Well, I'm the responsible one, so I think the responsible one should do what he wants to do in a foreign country.
You? Responsible?
Duh.
We're going to a museum to learn about the Spanish Inquisition, not pick up chicks.
Well, can we learn about something else? Because Spanish Inquisition is pretty boring.
How would you know that?
Well, it just seems boring by the name.
Okay, whatever. Wait till we get there. Finally, we're here.
About time. Better not be boring either.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Spanish Inquisition Museum.
Sounds boring.
Oh, it's really not.
Well, I came to meet chicks, so
Well, there's a lot of different things you can do in Spain.
meet chicks.
No, learn about this. What's the Spanish Inquisition?
Well, the Spanish Inquisition first started in 1478.
When did it happen?
Well, it ended in 1834, so it lasted about 350 years.
Wow.
Yeah, not really boring.
Who was affected by it?
Well, Jews and Muslims were mostly affected.
When did it happen?
Well, it's all started with the Pope, and he instituted that he didn't like the Jews or the Muslims. So, it continued on into France, and by 1255, the Inquisition was in full gear throughout Central and Western Europe. And then that's when it started to have uprisings, and people were kicked out and tortured.
So where did the Jewish people go?
Well, most of them tried to flee, even though some of them were captured. Around 2,000 people were killed, but most of them were captured, and the ones that were captured were tortured.
How many people died?
2,000. Some people think 2 million, but it was actually 2,000.
Wow, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of lives. This sounds really interesting. Do you want to go get lunch?
I would love to.
I know a good restaurant called El Burrito Loco. Let's go.
What else would you guys like to know?
Why did they torture the people?
Well, since some people didn't want to change the religion, they would torture them until they said yes. Even though most of them did say no, even though they were tortured, they would die and then be hanged.
So they
the-
killed them.
Mm-hmm.
So will they kill babies or even infants?
Well, most parents would take their babies and flee because they didn't want their babies to be tortured or killed. Since babies can't be really tortured, they would just be killed.
Could be me. So do you have any family that was involved in the Spanish Inquisition?
Well, some of my ancestors were in it, but they fled away.
Wow, that's a good thing.
Yeah, like everyday life there for 3.5 centuries, the Inquisition permitted every aspect of life in early modern Spain. Jews and Muslims faced dangers and suffered the hands of the Inquisitioners, which were the Spaniards. The lowest class had struggled the hardest.
Wow.
What types of torture did they do?
Well, for people that were killed, they were hanged or burned at the stake. For people that were tortured, they had torture castles with different torture weapons to use. They had water torture, they had this kind of torture where they would stick a rod up your body all the way through.
Oh.
They had some kind of torture machines where they would stretch your limbs. They would have each of your limbs tied to an end of the table, and they would stretch you, breaking your bones and tearing out like your shoulder, stuff like that. It was very, very horrible.
Wow.
Sounds horrible.
But however, when the Jews did flee, like my ancestors, they went to Portugal, but they were also exiles from there too. Even so, they went to the Ottoman Empire, ruled by Sultan Bayezid. He wished to welcome the fleeing Jews and said that the kings Ferdinand and Isabel acted foolishly since Jews were so wise.
That's just crazy. There's a lot of people that died is because they didn't want to change their religion.
That's not fair.
That's not, honestly.
So really, Spain was affected in the long run because Jews were so smart. It slowed down Spain modernizing. If you haven't noticed.
So like, I honestly think this wasn't that boring. It doesn't beat getting girls, but it's like it's nice to know a lot of Spanish information. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure to tell you all this information, tell you about my ancestors' history.
I'm sorry about you. Hey, waiter. Hey, we need more sauce.
Ignore him. I'm glad you shared your story with us. Thank you.
I overheard you guys talking, actually. My ancestors were too involved in the Spanish Inquisition, and my ancestors were not as fortunate as yours were. A lot of them ended up dying.
Aww.
My bad, dude.
It's okay. I mean, I'm still here, and it's cool that the past still lives and is inside all of us, so enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As you can see, my ancestors were lucky enough to flee, but then some weren't lucky as the waiters.
I know it sucks. But thank you for telling us about this good information about the Spanish Inquisition.
You're welcome. Thank you for telling me about this good restaurant.
El Burrito Loco knows. Are you ready to go to Spain?
I guess, yeah.
What do you think we'll learn about? It's called Carmen J something.
Stop.
You have to read it.
Oh god. I look bad.
They're all on camera.
This is not about to go in the blue.
It is.
Are you done yet?
Just smile.
We're
No, I was a man by the age of 6. Girl, I used to babysit, but that was years later. I was so crazy. I was told me don't play it. You get paid a lot, you get paid a bit in my latest. It's like a fantasy. Ain't no nation over on this side, yo. With us now, Charlotte's no different over on this side.
Oh my god, you're a thief.
Everybody on myself, put myself, told myself, you man, you ain't no help.
Do you want to go lunch? Hey,
One of those.
Hey, appreciate.
Appreciate what?